Peyton Adams, Taylor Swift songs and literature classes. 1, 2, 3. Romeo, take me somewhere I can be alone. Just like that, with a simple lyric from Taylor Swift's song Love Story, we are immediately transported into a world of longing, rebellion, and romance. But the striking part of this line is not that it is a catchy line from a pop song, it's a modern, hopeful retelling of the popular Shakespeare play Romeo and Juliet. The ability to reshape a classic story and make it resonate with millions of people today shows something important. Taylor Swift isn't just a songwriter. She is a modern storyteller, and her lyrics carry the same literary value as the poets we study today in school. Today, I want to persuade you that Taylor Swift's songwriting should be recognized as modern poetry and studied in literature classes because of its literary devices, emotional depth, and cultural impact. First, Taylor Swift's songwriting uses advanced literary devices that mirror traditional poetry. A lot of people see pop lyrics as repetitive or shallow, but Swift's writing is layered with poetic techniques. In fact, in 2024, a study by researchers Jufari and Wedna examined her album Red and found 9 different types of figurative language. Everything from metaphors and symbolisms to personification and imagery. These are the same tools we analyze in classic poets like Robert Frost or Emily Dickinson. Another scholar from the University of Melbourne wrote in 2024 that Swift's lyrics show complex narrative construction, which is storytelling with shape-shifting perspectives, vivid imagery, and emotional arcs. When you break down her songs the way you would break down a poem, the craft is unmistakable. So, in terms of structure, technique, and language, her lyrics already qualify as poetry. We're just more likely to hear them on a radio than read them in a textbook. Second, Swift's songwriting carries emotional depth equal to the poetry found in literature. One of the main purposes of poetry is to express emotions that are difficult to put into words. Heartbreak, joy, nostalgia, healing, and growth. Swift's entire discography shows exactly that, and it resonates across generations. Because she puts those feelings into language that is honest, vivid, and meaningful. In 2023, scholar book The Literary Taylor Swift writes and analyzes the emotional complexity of her lyrics and even compares her introspective style to poet Sylvia Plath. And that comparison is not made lightly. It shows that literary scholars recognize her ability to capture deep personal emotion in the same way famous poets have done throughout history. Her songs don't tell stories, they help people understand their own, and that's one of the core functions of poetry. Lastly, Taylor Swift's songwriting has significant cultural and academic impact, proving it deserves a place in literature classes. Cultural influences is often a major factor in determining what becomes a part of a literary canon, and Taylor Swift's cultural impact is undeniable. University professors are already studying her. In 2022, Professor Elizabeth Scala created a course that connects Taylor Swift's lyrics to the words of Shakespeare, Plath, and even Hitchcock. And in 2024, Stanford University announced a course dedicated entirely to analyzing Swift's lyrics, examining their themes, symbolisms, and narrative techniques. When major universities take your work seriously enough to teach it alongside classic literature, that sends a strong message. Her songwriting is even more than entertainment. It contributes to modern literary culture. And I know for a fact that for me, I would definitely enjoy literature classes more with something to relate to. So, in conclusion, Taylor Swift's lyrics are more than just a catchy melody or diary-like confessions. They are crafted with rich literary devices filled with emotional depth and influential enough to inspire academic studies across the country. So when we ask whether her songs deserve to be studied in literature classes, the answer is yes. Not because she is famous, not because she sells sold-out stadiums, but because her songwriting meets the same standards of poetry we already study. Her storytelling is art, her lyrics are literature, and if poetry is defined by its ability to move and challenge us and reflect our personal experience, then maybe we've been reading a poet all along. We just happened to hear it through a melody. One, two, three. Thank you.